Hello my friends, this is Gabriel the Proactivator, and I'm going to tell you about my financial wreck to set up the financial series that I did. You see, over the course of my life, I have acquired a handful of very common, very popular, but very deceiving behaviors. Behaviors that ultimately develop into negative financial habits. Now, this was a recipe for financial destruction. Sprinkle in there a few legitimate, but for the most part, illegitimate excuses for ramping up credit card debt. And I had myself, in only a few years, piled up a beautiful, smelly, warm pile of debt. But of course, I never intended for this to be the case. For years, I had control over that monster. I was in control of the wheel. And I knew that that wasn't going to happen to me. But you see, using debt to get out or dodge a potential financial struggle or adversity was a deceitful way of handling the blows that life hit me with. It was like a fabricated cushion in the back of my mind saying, hey, it's okay. You have a decent line of credit just in case. Or isn't that what credit cards are for? Emergencies? So there it went. All these behaviors started sprouting and I started falling for it, taking it easy on myself and relying on my own lie. But you see, corporations know who I am. And they know who I can potentially become. They have studied me vigorously, spending millions upon millions to understand me, and they have all the data, resources, and logistics necessary to make me their slave. And I willingly handed over the keys. Now, I am certain that the majority of you, according to statistics, have in some way, shape, or form flirted with some kind of debt. Therefore, many of you might be able to identify some of the stages that I went through. You might be on the stage where you have complete control right now. And it's been like that for years. You have a handle on the wheel. Or you may be on the stage where you're suffocating. Depending on where you are in this area, it all comes down to behaviors, habits, principles, and values that you have acquired throughout your life. You have been following a model that has been purposely set up to make all of us slaves. You see, the Bible says that the borrower is slave to the lender. You might find this a bit harsh, a bit uncomfortable. At least I know I did. I often felt like Dave Ramsey was pulling on my ear when I would listen to his podcast. Now, why do we feel that way? Because when the Bible speaks, we can identify truth. And you already know that truth, at times, is not easily digested, and it pulls no punches. In the Bible also says, for where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. Let me give you a few examples of what I treasure and what I value back when I was in this downward spiral. I treasure instant gratification. I treasure comfort, and I value security, even if it was a false sense of security. It was a lie. I will say things like, so we can get a nice minivan for the family, a safe car for $300 a month, sign me up. Or I can get this dining room set at 0% interest for 18 months, let's do it. Clearly, you can see where my treasure was. Even as a devoted Christ follower, I was living under this model that society has made us accustomed to. It was only when I was faced with this truth in a very uncomfortable way that my own convictions started manifesting a deep down cleaning. A cleaning that is taking place to this day, and I believe that it won't end until my time comes. Because you see, our hearts are under constant attack, calling our attention to place them into treasures that are from this world. Now, only you can evaluate yourself and really be true to where you stand. Ask yourself, where are my treasures? Think hard and really dig deep. Ask, where's my heart? Well, it may well be that your heart is set on the treasures of heaven, which is great. Or you might be more like me and really have to push yourself to be more intentional about setting your priorities in a different order to lean more towards what really matters. I will challenge you to lean more towards the treasures that matter most for 3 months. Faithfully and intentionally move the power of balance towards the kingdom. Serve more. Give more. More time, more resources, more of you. Now, check this out. This is where the rubber meets the road. Because when you do give more, give genuinely. Give with love, desire, and passion. And then just sit back and watch. Watch the growth. Watch the spiritual maturity. Watch you develop a level of awareness geared towards what's more important. And imagine it's not just you, but the person next to you also do the same. And we all, as a collective unit, will get more. How would that impact the community? How would that impact the city? How would that impact the nation? And ultimately, how would that impact be on our kingdom, our home? It would definitely be more furnished with more. A lot more if we gave more. But even if this message only penetrated one of you, because of you, the kingdom is more furnished, and it all would have been worth it. I encourage all of us to dig deep, dig wholeheartedly, and find that other level of giving that will transform our lives and that will place our hearts in His treasures that are most valuable, which is people. People are valuable. Take care, my friends.